it's like, that's what it's taught in African households as well. Like the wife, you're supposed to be doing the one doing everything, make sure the husband has what he needs to eat and things like that or whatever. And I feel like sometimes we do overextend ourselves because of the fact that I feel like sometimes it's like a void we're trying to fill or
Can I speak on that?
go ahead, therapist people.
So I'm gonna be real with you. It's unfortunate, but a lot of Black women, and now I'm speaking on Black women because that's what I know, right? A lot of Black women, we grow up in homes where we are taught to be the independent Black woman, and we are taught like learn to cook, learn to clean, learn to do all these things, go to college, get a degree, get a job, to not depend on a man. But in these same homes, that statement is being reinforced to their male sons. So the sons are hearing, oh, I got you, baby. I'm gonna make sure you do what you need to do. I'm gonna make sure mama gonna get you that bail money, and we gonna make sure you good no matter what. But the Black woman is hearing, go to college, go to school, be independent, do it on your own. You see what I'm saying? And so I don't think a lot of us, also lack father figures. It's unfortunate, but I know more Black women who are without a father than with the father. And I said that to say it's almost like a normal conversation. You meet somebody, oh, your daddy was in your life. That's good, girl, because my daddy, I don't know where my daddy at. You know what I'm saying? And so because these conversations are happening, Black women are so used to seeing other Black women, such as their moms and their grandmas, like, wear it all on their shoulders, work 2 jobs, take care of their kids, feed their babies. And so I just feel that it's a traumatic response to life. Like, if I don't save you, who gonna save you? We say trust God, but we come through every time. And I'm talking about myself. Like, I'm not God. Y'all are not God. So it's unfortunate, but I feel like we're suppressing and reinforcing things that we've just been taught.
She said, if I don't save you, who gonna save you? I felt that. And I want to come in on that too, because that's so true. And I feel like, especially culturally too, like my parents, they're African. My family's from the Congo. And it's like, that's what it's taught in African households as well. Like the wife, you're supposed to be doing the one doing everything, make sure the husband has what he needs to eat and things like that or whatever. And I feel like sometimes we do overextend ourselves because of the fact that I feel like sometimes it's like a void we're trying to fill or also like, we like to be needed. We like to be needed. We like the fact that people need us. And people want to count on us but then sometimes it's like, to an extent, okay, to an extent, there has to be some type of a stop put in place or whatever. But I do feel again that it's either like a void, you wanting to feel needed, and then just like you said, it's ingrained in us from young, about being independent and things of that nature. So yeah,
I'm actually really glad that it's kind of funny, how things work and connect. Am I muted again? Oh no, I'm not. Okay. It's kind of crazy how things connect, because I actually was on a podcast a couple of days ago and I was asked, if you could choose one superhero, who would it be? And the young lady that wanted to interview me after, I was like, honestly, I don't know. I don't really have one because I don't want to be Superwoman. And she was like, whoa. I thought that was who you were going to say. And I'm like, no, take it off. I don't want it. I've also saw a quote that was like, women, something along the lines of like, women always are going and always doing for other people. And it's like, we lose ourselves in that. We lose ourselves because we're always trying to give for everybody else. For me, this hits home because last year, same time frame of this year, I was starting to have panic attacks. I always struggled from anxiety and depression and things of that nature. However, it never got to the point where I actually had a full-on panic attack. And I had 3 within, I would say, maybe a 2-3 week time frame. So that was a realization for me to be like, okay, I really need to back up and think about what's going on, because this is not me. I also attended therapy before, and speaking to my therapist, she told me I suffer from, it's like, I forgot the terminology, but because I was an older sister and I took on a lot for my little sister, I always kind of had that survivor, I won't say guilt, but like, I guess the energy and the thought process of I always have to solve everybody's problems. I always have to fix everybody else. Not that I felt broken, but I just needed to fix everything for whatever reasons. So with me, she said, you know, when you think about those things as a child, a lot of the situations that you went through that you face as an adult, do you feel a connection? And I'm like, you know what? Yes. I always say yes. Like, I'm always trying to solve and fix things for people. So last year after that, I stepped back, and family, cousins, but as they listen to this, they're going to be like, that's why. Yep. That's why. And it's like, for me, a lot of people are like, you have to set boundaries and you have to communicate that. I don't do that. I'm an empath and I feel people's emotions. So I don't even want to deal with that conflict. I'm going to just slide on back out, and they're not going to call. Solves the problem. Solves the problem. So that's my 2 cents.
Yes, I listen. I got a child over here flipping circles and stuff. She was posted. My plan was she was gonna take a nap like right when this happened, but she took a nap early and messed everything up.
Okay,
but that's what she does. She really wants to be in here
all the time. She's like, I want to talk to you.
So just say what you got to say.
But yeah, let her get her shine and learn from her mama.
Finish what you got in your mouth. Chew that up, and then talk. Tell us what you got to say, because she does. Train up a child in the way that you want them to go. Yeah, stop trying. You listening? Stop playing.
She's like, now that you want me here.
So I feel like this next question is going to tie in good to what we were just talking about. Which parts of your life do you need to be more careful in choosing who you give access to?
Okay. So again, this is something that Jaquil and I have been talking about. It's just like, you know what? And there are a lot of people. I'm just like, I shut it all the way down. I'm just like, you know what? Nope. I'm not doing this no more with you. I'm not, because you gave me the invitation to the party, I'm going to have to decline. People are like, oh, I haven't seen you. And you're not. You're not. I'm not hanging out with you no more. I might come through once a year. There's some people that I haven't seen. And I'm just like, nope. Because you know what? The energy, the things, I'm just not, I can't do it. Yeah. Because I'm trying to be God-centered and God-focused, whatever, because he's given me a lot of things to do. So now I'm going to start this Bible study. With a person asked me like, so do you teach Bible study? And the Lord was like, yep, you sure do, because you did it before and you're going to do it again. And I was like, so what am I going to do? What am I going to teach? And he's like, the truth. And I was like, well, you're the truth, the way, and the life. He's like, exactly. Teach them me. So I just went all around the block and didn't quite answer the question. But I know that because of the path that he has me on, I have to, and it's lonely. Oh my God. Yeah. Y'all know, every one of y'all know how lonely this is. And it's just like, I was like, Lord, I just want some friends that can do purpose with me, that I can pray with, that I can laugh with, that I can, dance and do me, the whole me, without pretense, and that you're included in. So this one is one of them. You know, it's good because she's sitting right next to me. But it's just, it's just like, okay, so what does my life look like now, as opposed to, before, when I was just entertaining all kinds of things and all kinds of people. And I'm like, people are like, oh, before I used to get mad. Oh, I wasn't invited to this party and I wasn't invited to this event and da-da. Now I'm like, I wasn't going to go anyway, but So now I'm like, okay, Lord, so it's good. So you have set me apart. It's still lonely, but then you have given me people and platforms and just things that encourage me and keep me lifted, like this, like this. I wasn't even supposed to be here.
But she wanted to do. We wanted to do it together.
But we were hanging out together, and Chantel's song was like, "Oh, well, tell her to come on." Yay! So, but
I know I'm always open to add people. So,
and I'm always, me. I'm always. I got more than 2 cents. I got like 20 cents. 50 cents. I don't know. I got a lot to add because my life experiences, I always say I'm the Oprah Winfrey of life experiences because I've been through a lot. And though I don't look like it, I'm going to be 55 on the 13th. So I have a lot to say about a lot of things. And it's not, but I've learned through the Lord, through his teaching and just sitting in his presence, just like, we fighting against wind, and it doesn't have to be that way. I'm very practical in everything that I do, in the way I teach, in the way I approach life. And the Lord is just like that. So he's like, you know what? It's not that difficult. Life is not that difficult. Whatever you want to do, talk to me first. Yeah, and you got to do it. Do it, but talk to me first, and I will guide you and lead you. And it's not that hard. It's not that difficult unless you make it that difficult. And he's such a gentleman. He's not going to interfere. He's not going to intercede unless you ask him to. And if you ask him, he's going to be like, oh, that's what you want to do? Here, let me show you the better way to do it, the easier way to do it. It's not that difficult, because if he puts that thing, that vision, that thought, that dream into your heart, into your minds, he's already got it laid out.
Yeah.
He's already got it laid out. So there I go again. I'm just like, I'm just going off on a tangent, but that's my heart for, my sisters, for God's people. Just listen, take some time, set aside some time for him, and whatever it is, because if you dream it, he put it into your heart, in your minds. So each one of you will succeed if you include him in your everyday process and in your everyday plan.
Amen.
Amen. Okay.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. It's communion. Just kidding, y'all. It's great.
Can you what's the question again? Can you bring it back? What was the question again?
Which parts of your life do you need to be more careful in choosing who you give access?
Oh, definitely my faith journey. I mean, my faith walk. Because right now God has me in a place of sending me out from places. So I'll be leaving in a minute, about a week to go somewhere to a different state for a temporary amount of time. Then send me that's what I'm seeing. He has me on right now, where he's sending me out on assignments. So I feel like that area, I definitely need to be careful who I speak to, about, because a lot of people will look at me and be like, how you gonna pay for this, or how you gonna pay for that, or what you gonna what you gonna eat, or where you gonna stay, or like the questions. And I don't need all that. I need to be focused on what God has told me and just follow his lead and know that, and trust and know that wherever he's taking me, he's going to sustain me. He's going to provide for me. And that's it. Like, not this walk is not for the faint of heart, faint of heart. Like it's definitely not something, it's definitely new, especially for me, but he saw my heart and he knows that if you tell me, Jasmine, I need you to go to this place, he knows I'll go. So it's like, that's why I feel like he has me on this right now. And it's like, I got to be careful with who I share it with, even where I'm going. Because, listen, whoever's going to be watching this, you may or may not know, there's a lot of familiar spirits. There's monitoring spirits. There's witches, warlocks, all that, not everybody you can trust. That's why that gift of discernment of spirits is definitely something that I always continuously ask God to give me, because you can't tell everybody everything, because not everybody has your best interest, and people will send assignments on you while you're on assignment. So yeah.
I think that ties into something Jaquil and I were talking about yesterday, today. I don't remember which day it was.
You talk so much, girl.
I know, but so we were talking about, because being single, and the thought of being in a relationship or getting married one day, and so we talked about how you can get into a relationship with somebody, or have the potential of getting into a relationship with somebody, but then they can start distracting you from the things that God has called you to do. Mm-hmm. And that can happen not just in, romantic relationships, but even in friendships you may have with people. You have some friends or whatever, and they're just like, oh, well, why don't you do this with me? Or why don't you do that? Like Jaquil was saying, like getting phone calls and all this stuff. And people are constantly, pulling you away, not understanding you're on an assignment. You have a purpose. You have this destiny. You're trying to start a business. You're trying to write a book. You're trying, whatever it is that you're trying to do, you have to have people around you who understand, this is exactly what God has called me to do in this season. And I need you to understand and give me that space to focus on this. And they won't be mad about it. But that it shows you a different side of them. And then you understand, okay, well, I can't let people into this side. For me, for this question, who I'm careful to give access to, I know all of y'all are strong women, and I know we say strong when we ain't supposed to be like strong Black women, because we're supposed to be finding balance and stuff, but I've always been that strong Black woman type, because that's the way I was raised, and so because of that, everybody always would come to me because I was the strong person, so I carried everybody's stuff. So I was not allowed to have any weakness. So as I started working on myself and healing, and I started finding areas, or really exposing more of the areas where I was weak in, and trying to be vulnerable with some people, because I was thinking, these are my friends, I can be vulnerable with them. But they couldn't take that vulnerability of me, because they were only used to ever seeing me strong. And that's when I started to learn, okay, I can't give them access to the side. So if they would ask me, how are you doing? It would be, oh, I'm fine. Because I know if I tell you how I'm really doing, you're going to have a meltdown, because you don't know how to interact with this portion of me. I only need people who could be able to be like, girl, I understand what you're going through. I'm going to be here with you. I need, those type of people around me who, like, they'll be in the pit with me when I'm in the pit, and then they'll help me get out the pit when the time comes. I can't have people who going to have a whole meltdown and be like, I can't believe you in this pit, and I'm going to come back when you get your life together. Like, because I need you to help me get out my own pit. Like, so, it's for me, it's making sure that I protect my vulnerability and only allow people who I know are strong enough to take that side of me.
That makes sense.
Can I just say something to Jasmine? You were talking about not allowing certain people to access. So while you were talking, I was just like, oh my God. Yeah. Say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be silent
Right.
as you move along.
Yeah.
Because that's what I kept getting. I was like, oh, I want to tell her. And Jaquil was like, no, let her finish talking. And I was just like, oh no.
Mm-hmm.
You need to in this season that you have right now, while you're making moves, you need to be silent. You don't have to tell nobody nothing at all. You don't have to explain. You don't have to. No, he needs you to be silent and keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you're on the other side of whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you have to do, it'll speak for itself. But you don't have to explain anything to anyone.
Yeah.
And do not feel that you have to. No, because I know you're like, oh, well, I'm doing. No. Forget it. You don't have to explain anything to anyone at all.
Amen.
Because they'll try and talk you out of it. They're trying to talk you down. They're trying to talk you. What you doing that for? No. And you have the tendency to listen to certain people, whoever those certain people are. I don't know who they are, but you have a tendency to listen and value their opinions above God's opinion, above God's direction. Not even his opinion, above his direction. No, do not do that. Don't do it. So I just was led to just tell you, you ain't got to tell nobody nothing. You don't owe nobody nothing. You don't owe anybody any explanation at all. Just do what he told you to do and keep it moving. Shh.
To tie into that a little bit, I feel like, I guess what helped me, if I even can remember the question the right way, is separate. You need a friend, you need a business friend, you need a personal friend, you need a friend that you can just vent to. And again, going back to my therapy, my therapist told me, for your people that you're venting to, for me, it's a phone call, right? So when I go to call my girl, I'm like, hey, this is a moment. Like, are you free to listen? Like, I don't need your explanation. I don't need you to fix it. I just need you to listen. So have those conversations with your people and let them know, like, it needs to be a judge-free zone. Like, tell them what you need. I mean, I understand also making sure you set your boundaries and you don't have to explain yourself. However, if you feel you have a friend or a person that you can confide into and you go back and forth, set those boundaries. So at least you know that, one, you're in a space to handle their stuff and they're in a space to handle yours.
Right.
That is definitely huge. And like I said, breaking up your people. You can't tell your girlfriend, your homegirl, your business stuff if she don't even know anything about business, because you're right. She is going to talk down or talk you out or say something that's completely off. And you're like, girl, and then you mad. Because she didn't understand what you were saying, and now she made you mad. So for me, that's definitely what I would say. And like, even your family, you can't tell your family everything. Your mom, I know if you're close with your mom, I know that I'm close with my mom. I talk to her almost every day. But I had to realize, like, we can talk every day, but I don't have to tell you every aspect, because there's going to be judgment. Like, you're my mom. So just know who you're talking to and when you're talking to them, and separate those things. So that's what I have for that question.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna go ahead and
I was like, because she looked like she got something
over here having a fit. Man, so when you were speaking, Jasmine, and then the follow through came with it. Look, I pulled up the text message on Wednesday, January the 12th. God said, shut your mouth. Shut up. Just shut up. Stop talking so much. Like, it's cool to be transparent. It's cool for people to come to you and feel like, I'm going to talk to Megan because Megan going to tell me the real. Yes, I am. But God was like, this is not the time to talk. So this season is for us to shut up for whatever reason. And he said, I'm not going to mute you, because when he said that, I was like, oh my God, you're going to make me a mute, Jesus? Like, I got I got a whole business, God. Like, how we going to do that? And I can't talk. So, you got to keep it real with God.
Right.
And he was like, I'm not going to mute you, girl. But you got to be quiet in this season. Like, there's some things that I'm about to toss your way. And if you continue to blab your mouth, and so even Brittany, when you were saying those friends, so for me, it's even my business friends. Even my business friends, he don't want me to talk to my business friends about nothing, not even my business, not my personal life. Even my mom asked me a question, my aunt asked me a question, and they know I just pull it out of me. I'm gonna tell you, and I don't care, because I'll tell the truth. But I went into a season also, right now, at the beginning of the year, everybody goes through like the Daniel's fast and stuff like that. He was like, no, that's not what I'm calling you to do. You ain't got to do a fast that way. Then I was like, okay, maybe no pork, no beef, and he was like, just let it flow. Relax, Megan. Let it flow. And as I started to get into him and other things, so my scripture for the last week or so has been, all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. All things, the emotional, the bad, the good, the ugly, everything works together. And so my aunt called me about something about my magazine. Well, why it's not out? You said it's going to be out on this day. And so here go the little girl in me, like, I want to throw my phone right now. I just want to throw my phone. And God was like, didn't you release the little girl? You're not a little girl. Stand up and tell them that you don't have to answer her questions. My mom asked me a question. Well, girl, where was you at last night? It must be good. And I was like, ooh, really? And so I politely said, like, I don't need to answer that. I'm not going to answer that. So even if it's your family, your friends, your parents, God is obviously telling you to be quiet. And I like your comment also about discernment, because that is something that I have been praying for the longest time. And so now when I'm looking at people, I see their intentions like all over their face. And I'm like, whoa, what is that? So just keep staying in him, and everything is going to fall in place like it is. I wish I could talk, but the man is telling me to be quiet. So be quiet.
Amen. I receive it all.
Subscribe so you don't miss next week's video.
Speak to that question too, about, because y'all just, child, got me super excited. But for me, who I am not, I feel like God has me in a season of not chasing the relationship and not allowing any certain type of male figure as it relates to romantic relationships. And it's not because it ain't no man bashing stuff. It's just that I'm in a season of establishment. He's really trying to establish me, and he's trying to like put me on my course. And for me to, like, I can't give too much attention to that right now, because in the past, when I've given that part of my life so much attention, it would distract me really fast. And it was because I was never really fully established. And